afternoon, traders and students all around the world. This is FXPassion broadcasting you live on YouTube, and this is Forex Trading Course 101, lesson number 1 today. So we are starting from scratch. Okay, we are starting from the very beginning. And what are we trying to do here, everybody, is step by step. Okay, we are trying to learn the basic module, we are trying to learn the beginner module, and we are trying to build the 3 pillars one by one, of course, step by step. Okay, pillar number 1, we are trying to build the strategy and or system. Pillar number 2, we are trying to build the risk management. And pillar number 3, what we are going to do, we are trying to build the psychology around those 2. Okay, and what do champion traders say? From the very beginning, champion beginner traders say, I am not going to live and die on a trade by trade basis. And of course, this is a quote from Mark Douglas. And if you are a beginner, everybody, you are not going to understand this yet, but with time, when the market is going to scare you, and it is going to scare you, don't be afraid to do the right thing. And nonetheless, everybody, just remember that 90% of traders lose money in the Forex market worldwide, and the webinars are not for investment or the webinars are not trading or investment advice, are for educational purposes only. And for homeworks or questions, you have my Gmail contact, my Skype contact, and my LinkedIn contact. That being said, let's jump to the live chart, and we are going to close the trade. As you can see, everybody, we are in profit. We are going to close the trade because, okay, the trade is closed. We end in profit. Strangely enough, huh? Strangely enough, we end in profit. And let's start to talk about the market structure. Okay, and this is the specific of the Forex market, and how this works, everybody, is, and we are not talking about the market structure, and what we are looking at right now is the AUD CAD monthly chart. Good morning to you, Zuelius. How are you? Hello, Christian. Talking about market structure, everybody. We are not talking about the participants. Hello, SL. How are you? We are not talking about the participants. We are talking about the technical market structure. Okay? How this goes? Every currency pair, okay, like AUD CAD, AUD JPY, right? Let's take the AUDs. AUD CHF, now AUD USD, AUD NZD, and Euro AUD. And settings, right? Chart must be on the GMT. So GMT, there you go. GMT charts. GMT charts. AUD CAD monthly, AUD JPY monthly, AUD CHF monthly, AUD USD monthly, AUD NZD monthly, Euro AUD monthly. Maybe I'm missing some. So the specific of the Forex market, this is market structure, and one more time, we are not talking about market structure in the sense of participants in the market. We are talking about the technical market structure. Okay, and this is specifically for the Forex market. Okay, this does not work in the stock market. Oh, I'm going to trade stocks the same way. Doesn't work. I'm going to trade the commodities. Doesn't work. I'm going to trade the crypto market. Doesn't work. This structure is specific for the Forex market. Okay, and what is market structure? What does this mean? This means that the Forex market, everybody, you know, waves between the two bands from the monthly chart. Okay, talking about long-term directions, the Forex market is waving from the lower band to the upper band, and then from the upper band to the lower band, you know, up and down, up and down, up and down. Okay, so the market, this is AUD cat, it's just an example. The market hit the upper band, and for the next, so this was 96 to 2000, for the next 4 years was falling. Hit the lower band 2001 to 2004, so for the next 4 years was rallying. Strangely enough, everybody hit the upper band, and from 2004 to 2008, for the next 4 years, it was falling down. And yeah, of course, the market needs to wave, right? Up and down, extension, retracement, extension. But, one more time, strangely enough, when the market hit the lower band, what happened? The market went the other side, right? Now, before explaining to you why, what would you say, everybody? This is AUD CAD monthly chart. Should we go long or should we go short? Long term. Long term. Should we go long or should we go short long term? I'm talking to the beginners, you know, I'm not talking about semi-professionals that they know how to trade retracements but step by step. This is lesson number 1. If it's true that the Forex market is moving on the monthly chart from one band to the other, what should be my direction, like general direction? Sometimes we call this also bias. Should I go short long term on AUD CAD as a beginner trader, you know, or should I go long term as a beginner trader? Zuelius says short. But Zuelius, the market is making higher highs, higher lows. How can I go short? How can I go short? The market's making higher highs, higher lows. And here we start the lesson number 1, right? Don't mix apples with oranges. Don't mix bananas with apples. Long-term direction is down, so it's short, right? And step by step, this is lesson number 1. We also have the downtrend line that confirms that we are in a downtrend. Okay? Hopefully everybody, you are going to make sense of your losers. But so what is the long-term bias? It's down, it's short, you know. But not to get too technical today, because this is lesson number 1. We are trying to understand how market structure works in the Forex market. Short, long term. Long, short term. Not anymore. Long, no more. But this is lesson number 1, so let's go step by step, because we have beginner traders here, fresh new. Okay, fresh new, they have no clue about the market. So if you're a beginner trader and you are watching this live, or maybe you are watching this as a recording, just learn that the Forex market determines direction from the monthly waves. And here is why. You know, governments have their respective currencies. Okay, so USA have the US dollar, Europe has euro, Japan has the Japanese yen, Brazil has the Brazilian real, you know, Russia has the Russian ruble. So every currency, I mean every country has its currency, right? okay? And I'm not going to say all of the countries because I don't know every country, but let's say that 90% of the countries all around the world, they import and export goods, okay? So just to make an example, you have a big producer in Europe which is called IKEA, and they're producing wooden chairs, wooden tables, wooden houses, you know, wooden cars, okay? And but just, yeah, maybe it's a stupid example, no, but just for you to understand, to import the wood, right? Now where they are going to import the wood from? Well, example, Brazil, you know, we have the Amazon rainforest, right? So we have plenty of wood, and you know, now don't worry, we are not cutting the rainforest, but just an example for you to understand. So this is just a tiny example. It's a glimpse, you know, it's a drop in the ocean what countries are doing. They are importing and exporting goods, you know. And when we're talking about importing, exporting, then governments sign contracts. Similarly, as the companies sign contracts, governments have contracts too about raw materials. Could be anything, you know, could be wool, coffee, wood, sugar, water. In the future to come is going to be air, you know. Switzerland is going to export air, fresh air. No, I'm not joking. You are going to see about 20-30 years, you know. And because governments have contracts, in those contracts, everybody, they determine that they are going to keep the purchasing power of their respective currencies inside those two bands. Question: does this make sense to you, or it's too difficult to understand? Everybody, do you understand what I'm trying to explain to you? Governments are importing, exporting. Like Brazil, it's a great exporter of soy and meat, you know. And they export meat and soy to China. So China is the buyer, China is the importer, and Brazil is the exporter. So you can check the cross between the Brazilian real and the Chinese yuan. You are going to find monthly bands. No, we are not going to check the exotics. We are going to check the most common 23 currency pairs that are most traded. But back to the original question, do you understand, everybody, why the Forex market, and Forex market, it's a currency market, right? Do you understand why it touches the upper band, you know, and then it touches the lower band and goes back up? As I said, understood, you know. And what happens, everybody? What happens? Let's take NZD CAD as an example, monthly chart, you know. What happens if the, maybe you know, maybe you don't, you know. What happens if some currency gets too high? Like in here, you know, this is the monthly chart, NZD CAD. Remember, this monthly candle back in time, when it was moving, it was up in here. So what happens? You know, in some point of time this candle was white, you know, and if a currency pair gets too much out of range, what happens? Like in here, you know, this is the monthly band, right? This is the monthly band. The market, you know, the market touched the upper band, went down. The market touched the upper band, went down again. The market touched the upper band, went down again. But then the market was like going up too much, you know, what happens then? Maybe you know, maybe you don't know. No, you cannot generalize this, you know, it's not every time, but if the Forex market, it's nothing more than a contract between two countries, and the purchasing power of some currency gets too strong or too weak, what happens? Central banks, exactly. Congratulations to USL, you know, not always, but when they need to, you know, then no, I'm not saying, I don't know, you know, no, I'm not saying that here central banks intervene, because I didn't check, but if it gets too much, everybody, central banks are going to intervene, okay, and they're going to buy, or sell for that time, you know, that the other buyers and sellers are going to understand, and then the structure, the technical structure of the market is going to reverse. Okay, so let's say that this market is, if you understand this, everybody, this market is quite safe, you know, but still, you know, you need to know what you are doing, because when this happened, you know, a lot of traders lost money, you know, because we were shorting the market. Yes, me too, I lost here. The market hit my stop loss, yes sir. You know, Passion, aren't you ashamed? Oh, beginner trader, you are going to learn how ashamed am I with losing trades. You are going to learn, believe me, how ashamed you are going to be. You know, just stay here, you know, you are going to learn. So the market would go up, you know, and then finally it would reverse. Now let's focus here. What should we be focused? How the structure works in the Forex market. The Forex market, and this is the specific of the Forex market, you know, waves from the upper band on the monthly to the lower band to the monthly, and then it reverses and goes back up or down, you know. So what is the general direction on the NZD-CAD monthly chart? What would you say? And this is lesson number 1, you know, for the beginner traders. You know, if you don't understand how market structure works, technical market structure, then you are going to most likely buy in here, right? Why? Because the market made a higher high. You know, how many beginner traders, they jump into the markets and they see a video on YouTube, and the trader is saying, oh, we are making higher highs, higher lows, and we are going to buy NZD-CAD, and you are going to lose, you know, most likely. Yeah, and we are going to start to learn vocabulary. We are going to talk about probabilities, you know. 9 says waves. What is the general direction, everybody, on NZD-CAD? On the monthly chart. Should you go short or should you go long? Long term. Thank you, 9, for being courageous and participate in the conversation. Guys, don't be shy. There is no right or wrong. We are here to learn, right? So, talking to each other, should we short NZD-CAD on the monthly chart, you know, or should we go long on NZD-CAD monthly chart? And because the higher time frame controls price movement and direction on the smaller time frames, what should we do on NZD-CAD weekly chart, daily chart, 1 hour chart? long term. Zuelius says short. Yes, sir. Everybody give me a second. Okay, sorry about that. Short, 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 long. 9 says long. No, sir. Short. 9, it's not long, it's short. Remember, the market behaves, you know, the market is going to hit the upper band, everybody. And the market hit the upper band, so the long-term direction is short. Not long, 9. Okay? Just remember, this is number 1, so AUD CAD, you know, the long-term direction is short. This doesn't mean that the market is not going to wave, everybody, but you must understand this is structure. Okay? And if you're a beginner trader and if you are not skilled enough in the beginning, just try to trade with general direction. Oh, but the market's making higher highs, higher lows. Well, just wait. Just wait. Waiting is a skill too. So AUD CAD, monthly chart short. AUD JPY. No, upper band, lower band. Well, this one is tricky, right? This one is tricky because, you know, the market didn't quite hit the lower band, but back in time the market hit here on the left and reverse, so this may be tricky. Okay, we are not quite sure if the market is going to go up long term, you know, or maybe the market is going to push down one more time. Okay, this may be tricky. AUD USD, well, upper band and lower band, you know. Long-term direction is, you know, what is the long-term direction on AUD USD, everybody? What would you say? You know, do we have some space here to fall lower? Short, exactly. Short, you know, because the market hit the lower band, hit the upper band, the market didn't hit the lower band. AUD NZD, same story. Now, this is a little bit more different. We're going to address AUD NZD later. Let's take Euro AUD. Upper band, lower band. Right? Is this tricky? You know? What about Euro AUD? Short, short, long term. Yes, sir. You know, what about Euro AUD? You know, the market hit the upper band, so, you know, what is, don't worry, we are going to learn everything, everybody. Short, yes, sir. How to know exactly where the bands are placed? It's more or less, Jari, it's more or less, you know, but instead of putting up in here, put it where it touched most of the time. So I'm putting it here because it touched once and reversed, you know, twice. Great question, Jari. 3 times, you know, and finally the 4th time. Okay, and down in here, of course, this is the number 1. Okay, it touched 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? Okay, short, short, short. Well, you know, maybe yes, right? And so an NZD-CAD, it's, you know, NZD-CAD, let's open some others, you know, for you to see, like Canada JPY monthly chart, you know, Canada JPY upper band, you know, lower band in here, you know, you have another lower band in here. So I would say the lower band is something like this, right? Okay, say FARA, yes. So now let's talk about AUD NZD, and then we are going to move to the Swiss franc pairs. Okay, now this is the monthly band on AUD NZD, you know, and this is the lower band, you know. So we need to increase our knowledge. And why? Well, yes, those are the two bands, and we can see that back in time this is how the market was behaving, you know. This was the lower band, this was the upper band, this was the lower band, this was the upper band, and this was the lower band back in time, you know. And then what happened, you know, and governments do this time to time, you know, they change, they increase the range. Okay, they increase the range. And so this is not the lower band anymore, everybody, you know, but this is the lower band. Okay, and one more thing, you know, it's quite easy for the beginner trader to buy at the lower band, right? Buy the lower band and buy the lower band, right? But it's getting riskier. Why? Because we have this channel, you know, and here is how we are going to learn that every currency pair diverges, you know. I mean, it's going to be a little bit different than some other pairs. So this is the sideways movement, you know. So as beginner traders, we need to take in consideration also what is happening, right? So I need to be careful up in here, you know. Oh, but Passion told me to go long. Well, not like this, not like this. If it would be that easy, everybody would be a trillionaire by now, you know, not a billionaire, a trillionaire, you know. So you need to take in consideration what is the market doing, you know, long term on the monthly chart. Just take a look, you know. And no, I'm not saying so. The bias is still up. General direction on AUD NZD doesn't change. It's still up. Now the question is, when it's the right time to buy? And this is what we're going to learn here, you know. Jari said, okay, thanks, just wondered in case the AUD JPY case what was quite close call to lower band. Yes, it was. Can we know that banks are going to change the lower band? No. No, they are not going to tell you. They are not going to tell. There is too much money involved. And great question. I'm going to show you something, everybody. So this is how the Forex market works in its fundamentals. You know, it's in basics. This is technical market structure. This is how the Forex market works. Okay? Because governments have contracts, because import and exports, they sign contracts that they are going to, you know, they are going to have a stable business, and they are going to take care of the purchasing power of the respective currencies. Okay? This is what gives international trade stability. Okay, how are the two bands? Now, again, talking to AUD and NZD, every currency pair is a little bit different, you know. So Australia and New Zealand looks like they are happy, you know, with this range too. It's also called consolidation. But nonetheless, AUD NZD is going to push up. When? We don't know, you know, we don't have the crystal ball. How you have so long history in my this, it goes back. I changed here, you go to preferences and chart, and you have here time settings. Jari, can you see? I am trading from the New York close charts, but in order to draw, and this is going to be your homework until tomorrow, for you to draw your monthly bands, you need to go on GMT. Okay, just click GMT and it's going to appear. Okay, but before the homework, let's continue. So this is AUD CAD, monthly bands, AUD JPY, monthly bands, you know, lower band, upper band, lower band, upper band, lower band, upper band, you know. So what is good news, everybody? Good news is that trading, it's very easy up in here, and it's very easy down in here. But trading gets difficult and challenging also for the professional traders in between the bands. Why is that? Because there is a concept and it's saying the market can do what it wants, when it wants, for how long it wants. So if this is your first lesson, everybody, and you are a complete beginner, try to find currency pairs on the monthly chart that are near the bands. Okay? And this is going to be your first trade. You know, Canada JPY. Okay, this is your first trade. This is Canada JPY. Buy the market on the demo account. Okay, buy the market on the demo account and put your stop loss down here somewhere. It doesn't matter. You know, we are doing this just graphically. Okay, and leave it. And leave it, you know. Are we going to win? Well, we don't know, but talking about probabilities, and you need to learn how to think, and this is a skill as a professional trader. Talking about probabilities, the market reacted once, the market reacted twice, right? So we have a great probability, you know, to be a winner going long, meaning buy Canada JPY, because of the monthly bands, you know. This is lesson number 1. Okay? So before we move on, homework for you, everybody. Homework for you. HW homework. Draw the monthly bands on minimum 10 currency pairs, non-exotics, okay, non-exotic currency pairs, okay, and if you find the market at the band, enter the demo trade. Okay, enter a trade, you know. So this is your homework until tomorrow. Draw the monthly bands on minimum 10 currency pairs, non-exotic. So don't send me ruble, Russian ruble, don't send me Brazilian real, don't send me Turkish lira, everybody. Don't send me Singapore dollar, you know, non-exotic. What are those? Well, USD pairs, Euro pairs, GBP pairs, AUD pairs, you know, without the exotics, NZD pairs, okay? And if you find yourself at some band, you know, enter the market and put the stop loss far, far, far away from the band. So let's write this down, okay? Put the stop loss far, far away from the monthly band. Passion, how much is far away? It doesn't matter, you know, it's just graphically. It's just graphically from the monthly band, you know. Do you want a number? I don't know. I mean, what? 5,000 points? 2,000 points from the, not from the market, everybody. Don't mix apples with bananas. Don't put your stop loss 2,000 points away from the market price, which is 80.07 on Canada JPY. We are talking about put your stop loss 2,000, 5,000 points from the monthly band. Okay? So this is your homework, you know. AUD CAD, put the monthly bands. If you find yourself at the monthly band, enter the market. AUD JPY, AUD CHF we're going to talk about in a second. AUD USD, AUD NZD, Euro, I mean, you know. You have what? AUD CAD, AUD CHF, AUD JPY, AUD NZD, AUD USD. You have CHF, Canada CHF, Canada JPY, CHF JPY. Then you have the euros, Euro AUD, Euro CAD, Euro GBP, Euro JPY, Euro New Zealand, Euro Dollar. Then you have the GBP pairs, GBP CAD, GBP CHF, GBP JPY, GBP NZD, GBP USD, not gold. And then you have the NZD pairs, NZD CAD, NZD CHF, NZD JPY, NZD USD, and then you have the USD pairs, USD CAD, USD CHF, USD JPY, and no, not USD Turkish Lira, no exotics. Okay? Now, let's move forward, everybody, and let's talk about the CHF pairs, okay? Let's talk about AUD CHF, and let's talk about USD CHF pairs. I'm going to delete the other ones, okay, so not too messy. AUD, okay, let's open the AUD CHF, USD CHF. Which one? Let me think. Euro in the end, you know, AUD CHF, USD CHF, Canada CHF, great example. Okay, now the CHF pairs, everybody, are similarly to the story of AUD NZD. Okay, so yeah, the monthly bands are like this. Okay, but one more time, you know, the CHF pairs, most of them are trading between a smaller range. Okay, so this is the range, you know. Why? The same principle, you know, don't go long in here. Why not? But you said that yeah, I'm telling you, but you need to upgrade your knowledge today. Okay, most of the pairs are ranging, you know, between the two monthly bands, you know, the upper band and the lower band. Most of the currency pairs are like this, but the CHF pairs are trending in here, you know. So this is already an upgrade for your knowledge, everybody, you know. Why? Don't go long at the upper band, you know. So talking about, so as you can see, everybody, we have a general direction, you know, general long-term direction on most of the pairs, but the general long-term direction on the CHF pairs, it's a smaller one. Okay? Why is that important? This is important because when Canada CHF is going to hit the upper band, you know, I'm going to ask you, what is the general direction? Everybody? When Canada CHF is going to hit the smaller upper band, what is going to be the general direction? Long or short? Come on everybody, time is ticking away, you know, we have 15 more minutes. Everybody? And don't be scared, you know, don't be shy, we are here to learn. If you're going to write the wrong answer, what's no problem, you know. There is no right or wrong. We are here to learn. You can say, well, when Canada CHF hits the upper band, the general bias it's up, I'm going to go long. Or you can say, when Canada CHF hits the upper band, I'm going to go short. Or you can say simply, well, I don't know. You know, I have no idea. You know, I'm still learning. Zuelio says short, short-term short, long-term long. SL, no, it's short-term short and long-term short. Long-term long, no sir. Why not everybody? You know, and this is the answer, why not long-term long? This is what I'm trying to teach you today. You need to make a difference between the two. You know, this currency pair and this currency pair are not the same. Okay, are not the same. Why not? Well, you know, if this is you, right, if this is us, we are beginner traders, you know, and you know the market hit the lower band, you know, and let me see, you know, and the market is here, you know, the market is here, and then it's something like this. Let's make it bigger, you know, because if you say everybody, you know, short, sure, if you say long-term long, okay, if you say long-term long everybody, and this is the monthly chart, you know, let's put a vertical line, let's go to the 2-hour chart, or 2-hour chart, okay, you know, 2-hour chart, you know, this is the 2-hour chart. Are you going to short the market or are you going to go long, everybody? And clone and month. Just give me a second. Month 1, 2, right? There you have it everybody. You are looking at the same thing. You have the monthly chart on the right and you have the 2-hour chart on the left. And you are saying, well, long term is long. What you are going to do? Everybody, you are, some of you, not everybody, but some of you are saying, well, long term is long. Well, if long term is long, and look at the monthly chart and look at the 2-hour chart, and we are looking at the same exact thing, just on different time frames, what you are going to do? Are you going to go long or are you going to go short? And here is what we are trying to teach you, everybody, you know, we are trying to teach you that most of the currency pairs are behaving like this, from the lower band to the upper band, from the upper band to the lower band. And then we are trying to upgrade your knowledge and telling you, well, the CHF pairs are an exception to the rule and they are moving here, you know. And some of you are saying, well, long term long. Well, if the long term is long, then, and this is the chart, go long, go long, go long, you know. Okay, now if you go long in here, green arrow pointing at, if you are going long in here, what is going to happen? Right? If you are going long, what you are going to do? It's lesson number 1, SL, okay? We are far away from learning what are retracements. This is lesson number 1. We are trying to learn how market structure, how technical market structure works. And I'm telling you, the CHF pairs are different. They have the monthly bands. What the governments are doing, their contracts are different, you know. And some of you are saying, well, Canada CHF long term is long, and I'm telling you, no sir, it's not. And you're saying, yes it is. And I said, okay, so if long term is long, what you are going to do at the upper band, and the green arrow is pointing at, you know. Zuelius, yes, we are going to be stopped out, but our brain, it's not perceiving this, you know, because we are thinking, well, long term is long. Doing nothing, not true. 9, not true. You know. So what now? Should we go long or should we go short on the Canada CHF 2-hour chart, or on the Canada CHF monthly chart? Should we go long or short? Doing nothing, no sir. We want to make money, right? Everybody, should we short the market or should we go long? But when we can say that market change bands, when there is a change in the short-term trends values. But this is lesson number 1, everybody. I want you to understand that, you know, I want you to understand that, okay, which one? AUD, Canada, let's find another one. EuroCAD, okay, EuroCAD, another one. EuroCAD monthly chart, right? I want you to understand, everybody, that when you find a currency pair near the band, just buy or just short the market and put the stop loss far away. This is the lesson. Put the stop loss far away. Simple as this. This is lesson number 1. This is how you learn what is technical market structure. And when you go on, so where were we? Which one? There you go. This one, Canada CHF, right? So, and you know, when you go on Canada CHF, do the same thing, you know. So what should we do? You know, those are your bands. What should you do? Don't mix apples with bananas, everybody. Learn the simple concept. If Canada CHF behaves differently and USD CHF behaves differently, you know, then what you should do? If AUD CHF, you know, behaves differently, AUD CHF monthly chart, you know, what you're going to do? You can go long there. Well, if you can go long, what you're going to do? Sell, exactly. So here is the mind trap, everybody. Here is the mind trap. If you think in your mind that CHF pair are long term, you are not going to sell. You are going to go long. And look what's going to happen. Look what's going to happen. Wrong example, we should be here, right? Okay, this was the example. You know, you are going to not go short, you are going to go long, and look what's going to happen. Bam. See what happens? If you think, oh, we are long term, and this is it. This on the 2-hour chart, all of this fall on the 2-hour chart is this bearish candle on the monthly, the blue one. Okay, when we can say that the market changed to a different band, 1, 2, 3 or more waves. Zuelius, this is lesson number 1, please. Okay, we have complete beginners here, like this is the very first lesson, so don't mix apples with bananas, stay patient. Okay, today we are learning how to identify the general long-term direction, and hopefully we learn that most of the currency pairs are behaving like this, you know, and some of them are behaving like this long term. Because in this example we are in the beginning of a consolidation and we don't know that, you know. This is for another lesson. Okay, this is for another lesson. What is consolidation, how to identify, just to remember what we are telling you. You know, because why? Because you have enough. You have enough data, Zuelius, right? Zuelius, Master Zuelius, do you have enough data to understand that this market is behaving and moving in this range? Right? Do we have enough data? We do, right? Okay, everybody, so this is for the first lesson. Okay, do your, where is the homework? Homework. I'm not seeing the homework. Maybe here, maybe here. Okay, so try to find AUD CAD again, AUD CAD. Okay, draw your upper band and draw your lower band on minimum 10 currency pairs. Send me your homework through the email, and if you find yourself at some band up or down, enter the market on the demo account and put your stop loss. You know, now we have, sure, But you're missing the point, Zuelius, is how we think. You know? If you don't think in the correct way, everybody, the market, the chart, the data is not going to help you. Is that simple? Okay? Oh, Pesh, I don't believe you. Of course you are not believing me. This is, it's the first lesson. Why would you believe me, you know? It's lesson number 1. But, you know, we are trying to teach you, everybody, accept what you like,